Hello, guys. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us once again on FarmerHubTV. I'm very glad to be here once again with a guest. On the past two episodes, we've not been able to get our guest on the show, and we're sorry about that. It's just due to some technical issue. It's not easy streaming from me in Canada and talking to our guest from Nigeria. It's always one glitch or the other, but we're trying to resolve it and make things a lot easier for everyone. So thank you once again for joining us on the show. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for remaining faithful and always being part of the show, no matter what. Despite all the technical and all the issues that we've been having on the show, you always stay in tune to us, and I'm very grateful for that. We are farmers, and we always stick by each other. That's what farmers does, and I'm glad you guys are always staying by me and being there, to watch the show. If you've not, if this is your first time, please do subscribe, share with your family and friends, click on the notification button so that we are able to let you know when we're going to have any new topic or any show on there. As you know, today we have our guest, and our guest is waiting, so there's not going to be any glitch or anything. Fingers crossed. That would disturb us on the show today. We have a wonderful guest, an important guest actually in agriculture, someone that you can't do without in any field or any aspect of our agriculture that you're in. We have yeah, as you see, our topic, it's all about poultry diseases and treatment and prevention. Today, that's what we are talking about. And we have a first-hand veterinary who is going to be talking to us and letting us know what to do and what not to do in our poultry farm. He is going to give us ideas of basic ideas that the steps that we need to take so that we remain successful in our poultry business. Our guest today's name is Mr. Oladipo Samuel. He's a veterinary doctor, and he's been in the business for a while, and he knows what he's doing, and he's a go-to person when it comes to your poultry or any of your animal farming business. So I'm going to go ahead. He's waiting right now with on there. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to get him on the show, and we're just going to start off the show proper. Hello, good day to you today, Mr. Oladipo Samuel. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good evening to you, sir. I'm quite okay. I'm good. What about you?
Fine, thank you. And thank you for joining us on the show, for being part of the family. We are very grateful. We know that you are one of those that we can't do without, especially when it comes to poultry business or any animal a farm business and all that. So that's why we're so glad that you came on the show today. We are talking about disease prevention and management in general in your poultry business. But before we start, I would want you to please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and any other information you'd love to share with the viewers.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm Dr. Oladipo Samuel. I'm a veterinarian, a practicing one. And let me say, I'm also a marketer. I
Mm,
do products,
mm,
drug, vaccine for your livestock.
mm, mm,
I'm a consultant. You want
mm.
to open a farm, or you have a farm you're running, and you've been having a lot of issues. You need a consultant to come in and sort it out for you. Those are what I do.
Mm.
So I
Oh,
think along the line we'll still just keep knowing each other.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But thank you so much for the brief introduction. So we're just going to. I know you're taking time to talk to us right now, and I wouldn't want to, delay you too much. But we're just going to start straight up. So my first question is to you is how can we prevent diseases on our farm? That's just a broad general question. we're going to narrow it down to poultry itself, but I just want you to give me an idea. How can we prevent diseases?
Okay, thank you for that. This little question is actually a very broad question. It's a very broad one, which requires your foundation. When your foundation is wrong, there's nothing you mount on it that will stand.
That's true.
Now we are talking about preventing disease. The first thing is your location of your farm. Where is your farm located? That is the first way of preventing disease. Now, do you have your farm in a crowded area where people go in and out?
Yeah.
Exposing yourself to more infection. So that's number one. The location of your farm. Then the other thing is what we call biosecurity. Now, biosecurity is divided into two. We have what we call biocontainment and bioexclusion. We all know what bio means. Bio means life.
Yeah.
Anything living.
Yeah.
Then security means protection. Now, when we are talking about biocontainment, that means you are protecting everything in your farm from getting outside your farm. Then bioexclusion is you are protecting your farm from everything going outside. That is the two branches of biosecurity. Now, what are we protecting? Is especially our birds. That is our investment. That's for poultry. If it's for other livestock, it will be your goats, your cattle, your sheep, or should I say your fish?
Yeah.
So that is what we are protecting. Now, what are these biosecurity measures? The first thing is your fencing. When you secure a farmland, the first thing you need to do is fence it around. That's a form of biosecurity. Because when you are fencing, number one, you are reducing the risk of theft.
Yeah.
And you are reducing the risk of anything coming into your farm.
Into your farms, yeah.
That means you are reducing the in and outflow of both animals and human. With that, you have reduced the risk of infection getting to your birds or theft. Then the next thing is your pen, each of the pens. Now, there's a difference between fencing and a pen.
Yeah.
Fencing is you are excluding your whole farmland from others.
From others, yeah.
Then the pen is you are excluding a set of animals from other set of animals in your farmland. Now, there are times that you might have three different ages of birds. You can't bring all of them together. If you bring them together, you are creating a bomb. Because at each stage of those animals, there are some diseases that they already become resistant to. So imagine putting a sick adult where a baby is.
A baby, yeah.
So it's just that the baby has no immunity. So that means you are trying to kill the baby. That is the form of the pen. we exclude each stock of birds from each other to reduce spread of infection. That is just on the managerial aspect. Then the next thing is what we now use. Those are the chemical aspects. In the aspect of biosecurity, that's when they tell you use a disinfectant. You create a food dip. You create a car dip. You know, there's also car shower.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Then we also have spraying of human.
Yeah.
Coming to your farm. Even some people go to the extent of anyone who is coming to their farm changes into a temporary
a temporary overall,
overall, just to make sure everything you are bringing from outside, you don't bring them into the farm. Now, the design of the farm also matters. When you come into your farm, when people come into your farm, they don't have access to your pens immediately. Where they have access to should be your admin area.
Yeah.
They don't have access to your investment. They have access to your admin area first. Then there will be maybe changing of their clothes, changing of the wears, of the shoes, everything before they have access. And another thing is the way you design the way you set your pens. Now the older birds are the ones that are first visited. They are closer to the admin area. Why the younger ones are left at the extreme? Not because of anything. It's to reduce the risk.
So the older ones probably have more resistance than the younger ones.
Exactly. Exactly. So the point is, when you have visitors like that, they don't come into your pen physically. And if there will be a reason for them to get to your pen, you start from the younger ones. You start from the younger, even if you have workers that will need to actually go into all of the pens. They start from the younger ones. Not because of anything. We'll still talk about mode of transmission of diseases. Because the older ones have diseases that they are resistant to. But once the older ones are actually visited first, there can be transmission of diseases from the older ones
to the younger ones.
And since they are naive, they have no immunity. They come down immediately. And the whole investment is gone.
So it really depends on what you're doing. It determines where you start, either the older ones or the younger ones.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So we are done with little of biosecurity. Yeah, then the other thing for biosecurity is your staffs. Your staffs. If you are dealing with maybe a large farmland or a lot of pens, your staff should be restricted to a pen. When there are issues of cross movement, then when there's an outbreak in a pen, it easily spreads through the open. So there should be restrictions to pens. Everything to be used, even if you are dealing with egg production, egg trays should be restricted per pen. For me, I love it Each pen has a different color. Each pen has different colors. So it is easier to differentiate. So that's another form I use. So there should not be mixture, because one thing with all these X-rays also have affinity
Yeah.
of transportation.
Transportation. Yeah.
We'll still get to mode of transport of transmission. Then we'll explain that also there. But the first thing we need to do is, when you're talking about preventing disease, managemental is always the best thing. When you take care of your management, you have less of diseases.
Wow, thank you so much. In fact, there's no better way you could have explained it. Well, maybe there's still more better ways, but you've done such a wonderful job of explaining that. Even there are a lot of things I'm like, okay, that's true, common sense, but how would you know it's common? You don't know it. So it's really really important, the information that you're passing along here. A lot of people would not have known this, but I'm glad that you came on the show and you're able to explain it. Since we already mentioned about mode of transportation, like mode of transporting the diseases, why don't we just go into that, because it's one of my questions anyway. So it's best we just touch on that immediately.
Okay. If you want us to go into mode of transmission, there's no problem. We've talked about management, but we are not done with management.
No, we're never going to be done with that. There's a lot we need to there's a
Apart,
lot we need to talk about.
apart from just taking care of the human,
Mm,
we need to also look at our input,
input, yeah.
the feed, the water.
Mm,
Once your water is not neat, if your water is contaminated, you are always predisposed to infection.
yeah, that's true.
No matter the drug you're going to use, there will always be a occurrence. That is why it is always good to test your water source. You take it to the lab to analyze
It's very important.
before you give it to the bed. I used to say something. If a water you give your birds, you as a farmer cannot take it, then it is not fit. It is not good for your birds. If you can't take the water you serve your birds, then the water is not good for the birds. So it's very important to test your water. Then your feed. Your feed matters. Your feed can be a source of infection to the bird. But basically, they are all managemental.
Oh yes.
We just have to keep learning every day.
Every day.
Every day. So then let's go to mode of transmission. There are no other ways infection comes in other than transportation. They don't just come from the ground and then they get to your bed. No. Now, how do they get to the beds? The beds have just about 2 openings, their nose and their mouth. Just like human being, the nose and the mouth. Now, how did these infectious agents get into through the nose? Is either they inhale, just as if we are taking in our oxygen. Now, as an attendant, let me say I have a friend in another farm, not far from our farm, and I have break time, and I feel like, it's been a long, I've seen my friend, let me go and play with him. Then I move there. Imagine maybe they are even suffering from ordinary Newcastle disease. And I don't know. They have carcasses on the floor. Maybe I mistakenly even matched one, or I entered their pen. Number one, my footwear is going to pick up some of the infectious agents. They're going to attach to it.
Yeah.
Some will attach to the clothes I'm putting on. Then I come back into my pen. And what do you know? Breeze just blows a little. It picks the one on my clothes. Spread it through the birds. Once one inhales it, it takes about a week for the
Spreads.
infectious agents to actually settle down and cause an infection in the animal. Once the infection is caused, that one that picks it up will be the one to release, while others will pick it up.
So bottom line, there's always a carrier. It's either the human carries in there, and then it's the one of the birds spreads it around. Someone has to bring it in.
Someone. Then second thing is, if your farm is not too far from each other, breeze can easily blow.
Yeah.
And take it in. Or maybe you share wheelbarrow. Or maybe both of you pour your feces at a particular point. Your equipment can pick it up. Even the wool shavings we do go to the sawmill to buy can also be a source of infection. Because you are not the only one coming to the sawmill.
Coming there. Wow.
So someone who has infection from his farm will come, pack some sawdust or shavings, and deposit infectious agent in others, what is left. So you also come around, pack your own share, and you take it home.
Then it starts spreading.
That is for human. Then for inanimate animals or inanimate objects rather. That's when we talk about the clothes, the shoe. We talk about maybe your feeding trough, what you use in feeding them. Or you talk about wheelbarrow, shovels, and everything. They are also source. They're a form of carrier, because once you use in a pen, you use in another pen. Once you use in a pen, you use in another pen. Basically, then insects also transmit. Rodents transmit, especially rats.
Yeah.
Now, tabanos, these big flies, they also transmit. How? Because where this farm A deposit their feces, they go there to lay their eggs. Now the infectious agent attaches to their legs, to their wings. Then they also fly down to your own farm. And before you know, they spread. Also, our workers, imagine maybe farm A has an outbreak, and then there are a lot of carcasses. You know, some staff will go all the way, take it back to their area and sell.
Yeah.
Then that is the same area your staffs are also staying. And maybe they also bought 1 or 2 mortar. Before you know, they came back, and then there's no proper biosecurity. They get into the farm. They also bring it down. Those are ways infections are transmitted.
So
they're transmitted. Through feed, they're transmitted. But basic stuff is first and foremost, your biosecurity. Your biosecurity should always be up and doing.
The best management practices every time is important on a farm.
Your biosecurity. Once you use an equipment, please wash with detergent and disinfectant. Wash with detergent and disinfectant. Those are what can kill off these microbes, these infectious agents. Your workers, their wares, they can always wash, if not every day, can wash once in a week. Let there be disinfectant in what they use in washing. Now, at each of the pen, there should be a foot deep. Anyone coming into the pen should place their leg in the disinfectant. No matter how expensive the shoe is, no matter how expensive the shoe is, if they can't place it in your disinfectant, then that means they don't need to get to your farm. Biosecurity is the mother of prevention.
Wow. All right, there you have it, guys. From Dr. Oladipo Samuel. Biosecurity is prevention of, the mother of prevention, like he said. So guys, if you enjoy what we're doing and you're getting best information from here, please do give us a thumbs up. Also comment on the show, ask questions, so that doctor can get to it if you are able to. So doctor, my next question will be, so what are the common signs of diseases in poultry?
I'm sorry.
I said, what are the common signs of diseases in poultry?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, doctor? Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly here.
Oh, coming, that was why.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Apparently, just a little.
Yeah, so I was asking, what are the common signs of diseases in poultry?
Permit me to log out and log in, please.
Okay, all right, no problem. Please go ahead. Yeah, sorry about that. I think someone called him on. He's using his phone to, to chat with us. Someone called him, and that also took off his audio from our end. So he's gonna log back in. But like I said, it's giving us a lot of information that even I would never have thought of. Things about biosecurity and how important to have the best management practices when it comes to prevention on the farm. And it's just a wealth of information, and we're so glad to have him on the show. So remember, as we always say, if you like what we're doing, please give us a thumbs up. Do share with your family and friends so that we can grow this channel together. Okay, I'm going to bring doctor back on. Hello, doctor.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining back. So I'm just going to go straight at it. What are the common signs of diseases in poultry?
The common signs of diseases in poultry. The first thing you should notice is when your bird withdraw from feed. When your birds withdraw from feed, then you notice something is going on.
Mm.
Then the second thing that is very dangerous is your birds, when they withdraw from water,
That's
you should
drinking of
know,
water.
drinking of water, you should know they are going off.
Mm.
They are going off. Like that means they are almost dying.
Mm.
When they withdraw from feed, we still have enough graze.
Mm.
But once they withdraw from water, you need to start shouting for help.
Mm.
Because once they don't take water in about 2-3 days, they hardly survive it.
Mm.
That's the major two.
Mm.
Then the
Okay.
third thing is basically their physics. Once their physics is different from the normal, you should know health wisely they are not okay.
Mm.
Those are the three major pointers
Wow.
before we now start breaking down.
Mm. Wow. Mm. That's important. And you know, it, I'm just remembering some cases of, you know, growing up, and you know, when we were younger back home, we all want to have all these people that sells chicks are all around that we buy from there. You know, and you see how the chick will be okay all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, it withdraws from everything. You know, those
Yeah.
are, you know, wonderful experiences growing up. So what type of diseases are we looking at when it comes to poultry? Just give us like few of the diseases. I know there will
Okay.
probably be a lot of them.
I'm going to start with brooding. When you are brooding, majorly your first week of brooding, the major disease that affects your bird is what we call E. coli.
Mm.
E. coli. And for those that brood well, you will notice during after like a week, you notice the shooters out of your bird or out of your chicks will be the one you start seeing dying.
Mm.
And if you notice, their physics will be a little bit brownish.
So by you mean saying shooters, you mean the ones that grow bigger instantly? They are
That grows
bigger than,
bigger.
yeah. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
know, just in case. Yeah. So those are the shooters. Yeah.
Those are the ones that go
Mm.
first. And one thing with E. coli is it is everywhere.
Mm.
It is an opportunistic bacteria.
Mm.
Take it either human being, either physics, either any livestock. Just take their physics, go to a microbiology lab, culture, you will always find E. coli.
Mm.
You will always find E. coli. So once there's an issue with their immune system, E. coli comes up.
Mm.
It doesn't waste time.
Mhm.
It does not. So basically, your first week, you always find issues of E. coli. You always find issues of E. coli apart from artery diseases.
Mm.
Then the major common one also is what we call salmonellosis.
Mm.
I'm sure a lot of people who are farmers will actually know that
You know it.
salmonellosis.
Mm.
Now, salmonellosis is not caused by anything other than contaminated water or feed.
Feed.
And once salmonellosis is registered in your farm, it becomes an occurrence.
Mm.
It comes over and over,
So it's very difficult to get
over
rid
and
of.
over. Very, very.
Mm.
until you get rid of the root
Mm.
of the infection.
Mm.
And basically, the major vector, or should I say the major agent transporting salmonellosis are rats.
Mm.
Are rats. Once rats keep having access into your pen, they come at night. If there are leftovers from your bird,
Mm.
they come to pick from them. But while they move through the trough, don't forget we said this infectious agent attaches
Attaches, yeah.
to the legs and everywhere. And you know rats love dirty places. So they pick it up, then come and transmit. They pick it up and come and transmit. That
Mm.
is always the source of salmonellosis. Then apart from that, the major one we also have in Nigeria is what we call CRD.
Okay.
That's chronic respiratory diseases.
Okay.
Now we are still talking about bacterial infections.
Bacteria
All
infection.
these are still bacterial infections. You've not moved to the viral infection.
Mm.
You've not moved to the fungal infection. Now CRD. I will say something. Basically, almost all infections that affect human affect
Affects
livestock.
livestock as well. Yeah.
So basically, we can only have a change in name,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
but it's general. So CRD is what we call chronic respiratory disease.
Mm.
Now, I would love to take CRD with Newcastle disease. Newcastle is a viral infection.
Mm.
CRD is a bacterial infection.
Mm.
CRD is caused by Mycoplasma species,
Mm.
while Newcastle disease is caused by Newcastle virus. Now, why do we call it chronic respiratory disease? Just the name, chronic.
Yeah.
It deals with breathing,
Mm.
that's a respiratory, but it's a deep one, a chronic one, a stubborn one. So that's why we call it chronic respiratory disease. And for CRD, you can't just say, let me go and use an antibiotic. It has its own specific antibiotic that works for it.
That works
And
for
one
it.
thing, it does not go. We manage it.
Mm. So
It does
once
not
it's
have
on, once it's on the farm, you just keep managing it. But what if you
no,
get
especially
rid of all your birds and everything and you start afresh? Is that possible?
once it is in a flock,
Mm.
you keep managing it.
Wow.
Then I need to also tell you that CRD can be transmitted from the maternal to the offspring.
Anybody else? Right? Yeah.
So even if you are saying, let me take off all these birds and start afresh, the artery you are getting your chicks from, the parent stock, hope they are not infected with CRD.
Mm.
Because once they are infected with CRD, it will still occur.
Uh-oh.
So all you do is you keep managing.
Mm.
As vets, we know presently in Nigeria, we know arteries with specific infections.
Mm.
If you tell me you got best from this artery, I know what to expect.
Mm. Mm.
So I know what to be prepared against. So basically, almost all arteries in Nigeria have their own specific infection.
Mm.
Almost. There's no how you always have that. from their flock.
From their flock.
Yeah. So why am I trying to take CLD with Newcastle disease? Newcastle disease is a disease that affects 3 of the systems. It affects the nervous system, it affects the gastroenteritis system, that's your digestive system,
Digestive, yeah.
and then it affects the respiratory system. Now, when you have issues like difficulty in breathing on your farm, it could be CLD, it could not be CLD. Those are the first 2 that come to mind.
That comes
It
to
could be
mind.
Newcastle. So no matter the antibiotics you use, it will not take care of the difficulty in breathing if it is not CLD.
If it is not CLD. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of farmers confuse CLDs to Newcastle. And that's what we used to say as a farmer, always have a vet. Always have a vet.
That's just the most important thing. Always have a vet on call. It might not be easy to have you right on the farm, but always have a consultant that would always come in, and you can call on at any time. Very, very important. So thank you so much. You see, Doc, that's why I say when we start talking, we're just going to keep going on. And we haven't actually scratched the surface yet. We're just pick and choose. That's all we're doing. We're just pick and choose. You understand? So there's so much that we need to talk about, and this is just talking about poultry. And I know you are into other animals as well, and other livestock as well, not just poultry, right? So you can imagine, us talking about poultry, and we haven't actually scratched the surface. So there's and we spent over 40 minutes already. You understand? So the only thing I'm going to say is that, Doctor, you're going to be regular on the show. We're going to keep talking about diseases and prevention and things like that. I'm going to work with your time. Anytime we're free, you have you just let me know. I'm going to bring you on, and it would be lovely if we could actually record, then we'll post, because there's so much information. We haven't even started yet. For poultry alone, I know there's a lot I still want to ask you personally myself. You understand? There's so much I want to ask, but I just want to say thank you so much for the little information, very important information that you've given us. So this point now, I'm going to give you a chance to talk about anything you want, and if you want to, your details and everything, so that we, in case, so we need to get you, your information, so that, I know a lot of people in the diaspora that would want to contact you, would want, you to, consult and things like that. So I would want you to please share your information with us, and also just talk to us about other stuff you do in the livestock farming industry and things like that.
Okay. Basically, I was trying to, when we started, I said I should introduce myself. I said I'm a vet, I'm a marketer, I'm a consultant, and I forgot to tell you I'm a farmer too.
I know that. See, there's no how. There's no how you won't be a farmer. So you're practicing, and it's very important, right? So
very, very.
Yeah. So
but there's always something I always want to tell farmers. In agriculture, we don't cut corners. When we cut corners, you're going to be done for. Now in agriculture, want to say I want to save money. That is when you're going to lose money.
When you're going to lose money. Like my mom would say, penny wise, pound foolish.
Aha. Because there's always quality
Yeah,
over quantity.
quantity.
A lot of farmers miss that. There's always quality over quantity. You can't get to a farm now. I can't get to an outlet and say I want to buy chick, and they tell you this is for 200 naira, this is for 400 naira, and you feel like are they not both broilers? Are they not both pullets? Then you go for the lesser one. I'm so sure those bulls might not survive 2 weeks on your
Might
farm,
not survive. Yeah.
and your whole investment is gone. Why don't you go for a 400 naira home, even if you need to reduce the quantity you're going to get, and you know those quantity is going to survive. Basically, that is one. Also, it's your drugs. I've seen a lot of people say, I went to the pharmacy. They showed me one of 200 naira, one of 350, and there's one of 850. I don't have 850 naira to buy. I bought the one my money can buy. But you forgot that the person who is selling to you is not a fool.
Of course.
Those producing are not a fool. Someone who is selling it is 200 naira. He knows that you need to either double or triple the dose before you can see a little effect. So imagine buying something for 200 naira and then you are told to use maybe 1 gram to 1 liter, and you have to use it 5 grams to 1 liter before you see the result.
Before you see the result.
That means at the end you are buying at the rate of 1,000 naira. But you buying 800 naira own, and you will use 1 to 1 and you will see result. In a way, you saying you want to save money, can see you've lost money. Meanwhile, when you need to spend, it will have saved you money.
That saved you money. Yeah.
That is where quality comes over quantity.
Quantity
is very important. I've been there. I've consulted. I myself am a farmer. I've tried it. Once you are a farmer and then you are detailed with what you are doing, you will always understand these differences. But the problem between Nigerian farmers is we are not detailed.
And there's no cutting corners when it comes to farming.
Basically, they always like, doctor said I should use this, and I'm using it. Either you are seeing the result or not, you don't know. I've asked someone before, I said, do you know the effect of multivitamin on your blood? And they feel like, I don't know. You're just using it. No. And meanwhile, I've seen a farmer that was using a powder multivitamin, used a liquid multivitamin, and went back to the outlet. He got those 2 drugs and told the person that anytime he sends someone or comes to buy, he should always provide the liquid multivitamin available for him. Why? He did his analysis. He saw results. That is why we are farmers. We have our investment on ground. We should not joke with it.
Not joke with it.
We shouldn't. If we are investing for this, we should be ready. We should be equipped, or else we'll have our investment burnt. And in
I
Nigeria, no subsidy, there's
bet.
no there's
There's
compensation for
no farmers grant and all that. Though they say
so
there
you
is, but we don't see it.
that's on paper and on the news.
And on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so amazing, talking to someone like you. You always make things a lot easier for me when I talk to someone like you, because I don't even have to ask you any question. You just keep picking my questions and you talk about them. So guys, I have Dr. Oladipo Samuel's contact scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Please contact him if you need anything that has to do with livestock, um, veterinary, or any information, consultancy, starting up a farm. And also, you said you're into marketing. What exactly do you
Yes, sir.
market?
Basically, I market vaccines,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, and feed additives.
Mm,
Basically, in Nigeria, there's a company that I actually partner with. That's
mm-hmm.
Tonarite Limited.
Okay.
They are known for quality.
Mm.
For over 25 years, they've been they've been available, up and doing. I'm sure if there are some old farmers here, once I mention one of their products, they tend to they might not remember the name of the company,
Yeah, but they will
but they know
remember the product.
the product. There's no one I tell you, have you heard about Embazine Fort before?
Mhm.
They tell you, that drug, it works, it does it.
Okay. Okay.
Basically.
Mm, mm. No.
So that is my marketing. If you want to get cheap, I can
Mm,
supply you.
mhm.
Or if you want to get, I don't go into feed like maize, soya bean. I don't go into that.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
for drugs, for the livestock,
Mm.
I do that.
All right, there you have it, guys. Please give Dr. Oladipo a shout. He's going to, get you whatever you want when it comes to your poultry and your livestock farming needs. We've been talking to him, and it's been awesome talking to him today. He's giving us a wealth of information on how to better manage our poultry farms, how to keep we can't totally get rid of diseases, but we can manage them as much as we possible. I hope I'm right with that. I
You are right. You can always never
you
get
know
rid of diseases
get rid
because
rid of it. Yeah.
unless the environment
Mm,
is controlled.
controlled. Yeah.
So
So
I
they
mean the
they
air coming in and
mm,
everything.
mm. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't say that wrong. He's giving us a lot of information. For those that watched us today, I just want to say thank you. For those that are going to be watching us later, I know we're gonna with this one we're gonna get a lot of watch, because it's important information, and I know you're gonna pass it on. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. My guest once again is Dr. Oladipo Samuel, and we've been talking about all you need to know about poultry diseases, treatment, and prevention. And we've only scratched the surface, actually. And we haven't really gone into details, because I won't lie to you, there's so much that needs to go on. So that's just what it is. We're going to be hopefully getting him back on the show once again. Fingers crossed. And we have a lot to talk to him about, even about poultry and some other stuff. And we still need to get him back on the show. Hopefully, when we call, you'll be able to join, give us that time again. Hopefully, and So here's saying thank you. You know what? I still need you to give me your last words. I know you've given some information already, but I want you to give us your last words to everybody, to farmers, intending farmers, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, sir. I will say to the intending farmers, do not rush into agriculture, and don't see agriculture as a quick profit business. Don't see agriculture as a quick profit business. I would say get enough understanding, get enough experience, because agriculture is crazy, especially poultry. Poultry is crazy. Poultry is not for a lazy man.
You using that word crazy. I met a farmer once here in Canada who told me that, you know, we were talking about, I was looking for land to lease where I could start up something right here in Canada. And I met a farmer, and he was like, "Oh man, you're too young." It's an East Indian farmer, right? So it was like, "Oh, you're too young for this." I was like, "Why?" But I've been wanting to do. It was like, "Are you crazy enough?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because he needs a crazy person to start up farming." So you using that word crazy, it's, you know, I've heard it so many times from farmers saying that it takes a crazy person to be a farmer, because it's not easy at all. Oh,
Okay.
we lost your
Can
audio
you hear
again.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, go on.
Okay. And to the farmers who are already farmers, I will say don't give up. To those who are planning to give up on farming, maybe you've done it, you've not made profits, you've had a lot of loss. There's one thing: is every failure is a form of a lesson.
Mm.
The best thing is reflect back, look at where you missed it, then learn from it, involve the required personnel. And by this time, I'm so sure when you want to try again, you're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat it. And to our poultry farmers in Nigeria, I will say, do not get tired. Do not get tired. Yes, poultry business presently in Nigeria is survival of the fittest.
Mm.
Yeah, but once you do what is right,
Mm.
you always get your profit. Do not cut corners.
Mm.
Do the required, and you will get your profit. So
I
I can live with that.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It's been awesome talking to you today. Remember, guys, like I said, I have Doctor's contact scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Please give him a call for any of your poultry livestock needs. He's a certified veterinary doctor, so he's going to, and he's got a lot of years of experience, and he's also a farmer as well. So it's not just a doctor in white and white doctor, whatever they call it. He's actually a practicing farmer and a vet as well. So you should know that he knows what he's talking about. He's seen it all. So please get in touch with him, and he will be able to help you guys out wherever you are, especially to my people in the diaspora. Please contact him, and he would help you out. He will get you all you need when it comes to livestock and things like that, or even about your farm. Just do that. I want to say thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us on the show. I'm very grateful. I hope when we call on you once again, you're going to join us. And to everybody that has been on the show, it's awesome having you. Thank you for always sticking by us, no matter what. We're very grateful. And remember, as we always say on the show before we go, no farmer, no food. Please say thank you to a farmer when you see them. And, they do awesome job. That no, it's not easy being a farmer. It's not easy at all. So always say thank you to a farmer when you see them. I appreciate them because they are doing wonderful job. They are feeding you, feeding the nation, feeding the everybody around the world. So I want to say thank you. I'm signing out. I'm Ayo once again, and this is me saying have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.